Hello. Happy December 31st, last day of the year. Last day of the year. Hopefully you've already planned your January, your 2023, and didn't wait until today to do so. And hopefully you didn't wait till today to reflect on December, November, all the way back to January. Hopefully you've been proactive in that practice. Speaking of practices, today we're going to be talking about the facts and myths of morning routines. Facts and myths of morning routines. And I'm going to include some affirmations in this as a bonus. When we think about morning routines, there's a ton of books and tools, and you can Google for hours on best practices for morning routines. And here is the simplicity of it all. The simplicity of it all and how it works, especially with your subconscious mind, because that's what's most important to, which I believe is most important to be focusing on first thing in the morning, is the fact that whatever you do as your morning routine, personally, professionally, that it's aligned and it feels good. When it's aligned and it feels good, it's going to work for you. When it's out of alignment and it doesn't feel good and you're just checking the box, it's not going to work for you, which is why I'm doing this recording in the morning. I'm starting before I'm ready, and I am not even showered yet, but I've done some of my practices already, right? Because my morning routine is a non-negotiable, but it looks a little different some days than others. Its overall feel is the same, but I don't journal for hours every day. I don't meditate for hours every day. I don't do yoga for hours every day. Those are just some pieces that I do incorporate on a regular, consistent basis. Now, the myth behind it is that you don't have to do hours and hours. Most people don't have hours to dedicate, right? But one of my favorite books, I believe it's the 5 a.m. Club. That was one of the first things I read that really broke it down into like, okay, how can we take everything that we can do or get to do in the morning and make it something that's a little bit more easier to digest or easier to implement into a routine and become habitual. And that was the 20 minutes of, I believe, scribing, 20 minutes of meditation, and 20 minutes of moving. So there's an hour. You can block out an hour. You can get up an hour earlier, go to bed an hour earlier, get up that hour and invest 20, right? Now, being that it's the last day of 2022, before I jump into all this, if you haven't reflected upon your year or your month, how was it? How was it? And can you describe it in 10 words or less of how you felt in 2022? How do you want to feel in 2023? The reason I'm asking about feeling, because the feeling piece is what's associated with getting our results. Our thoughts create our actions or lack of action taking. And then from that, we get a result and we feel a certain way about that result. And then that feeling becomes a way that we react or respond again. And we're just this consistent decision after decision after decision making human having, or actually spiritual being having this human experience, right? So what did 2022 bring to the table? What are you proud of? And I actually did another podcast episode about this. So it goes a little bit more deeper into the steps of this if you want to go back and listen to that. But if you haven't figured out what you want to be different, now is the time to do it. You can do it in January. You can do this in February. You can highly recommend doing this weekly and or monthly and or quarterly. You can't overdo this, because the sooner you shift and pivot your trajectory and get into alignment of what you desire and what you deserve, the quicker you will receive it. Because there are things we put out there to the infinite, to your God, source, universe, that you say you want, and then you realize you start to get a taste of it, and you're like, I didn't really think, no, I don't want that anymore. Or I didn't really want it that way, right? So the sooner you can pivot that, the better off you're going to be. So like I said before, there's a lot of resources when it comes to your morning routine. And the most important part of this is to do things that feel good to you. Some of my favorites are Atomic Habits, the Morning Miracle, the 5 a.m. Club. There's a bunch of other like YouTube affirmations, meditations by Joe Dispenza, Abraham Hicks, that can really upgrade and up level your subconscious mind, and components that really do influence the way you think, your beliefs, the way you react to life, your thoughts, and how you are responding or reacting to the results that you're getting or not getting, right? So remember, you get to have a morning routine. It's not that you have to. You don't have to really do anything, right? But that feeling of I get to, when you say those words, and you can practice that now, like just say it out loud. I get to, I get to, I get to, I get to feels empowering. I have to get up. I have to journal. I have to meditate. I have to do the breathing exercises. The I have to is a much lower frequency vibe. And there's resistance in that. I have to versus I get to. And it's just a simple switch in thought, in words, and belief. So feel into the difference of that and catch yourself in that word choice as well. There's another podcast on that as well, when I talk about the power of words and the influence of words. And I give you some cheat sheets of some words to swap out. And it's very, very impactful in your daily habits and your daily practice when it comes to how you speak. And when you think about your words, they're thousands of times more powerful than your thoughts. And we know our thoughts and beliefs are the starting point of everything, of everything you want to experience, everything you are being and doing right now. So feel into the difference of I get to versus I have to. Now, like I said, you can do 20 minutes of exercise. You can do 20 minutes of reading or planning or studying. You can do 20 minutes of reflection, of meditation. You can do a bunch of things. There's an endless list. In the morning miracle routine, I believe it's called Lifesavers. Let me actually pull up a note on that, so I get this correctly, so I don't botch it. But yeah, it's silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. So journaling, writing down. So what I've again found that's worked for me, I've created my morning, it's called morning, to have a morning method. And it consists of a lot of what I just listed above, but it goes deeper into the activation, deeper into the embodiment, deeper into the alignment work. And if you want access to that, I can send that over. Just DM me. Happy to share that. Now, what I cannot guarantee is that all the above will work for you, because some mornings it's not going to feel good to do some of it. And some mornings you're going to feel a little stuck or a little off track or a little challenged. And when you have those mornings, I say, if you can, because it depends on the size of the challenge and our perspective of that, right? Perception is everything, is to lean in and ask yourself, what are you grateful for? Because abundance and gratitude are at the same frequency. You want to get back into an abundance mindset, an abundance state. Going to gratitude first is the easiest step, because it doesn't matter where you are, what you have or don't have in life, where you live, the challenges that are going on, the fact that you're awake and you can breathe today. And most of us, if you have a phone and you're listening to this podcast or a computer, we have the minimal of survival, right? And that is something to be grateful for, because there are other people on this planet who have lack of that, right? So come back to gratitude, because that will reactivate the abundance frequency for you. And so I talk about all these things and multiple other podcasts as well, but the strategies that are out there, they do work. And when you think about getting into that deep scientific subconscious activity of the brain, it is safe to say that our subconscious mind is the most active right when you wake up. So you can train your brain to use the subconscious activity, think positively, accomplish more throughout your day, because again, how we do anything is how we do everything. So again, doing that thing in the morning, knowing that you get to, not that you have to, I get to work out, I get to meditate, I get to do my breath work, I get to an alignment state, I get to use these affirmations, I get to feel freaking on top of the world. before I even do or be around anybody else is a great responsibility that you get to take on, a good way to discipline yourself so that your responsibility of responding to the world, the professions, the things that you're doing, the people that you're interacting with, from family members to strangers to colleagues to clients to people on the highway, is much, much more pleasant. So here's some affirmations that you can start, because when you use continued repetition of thoughts over time, there is proven science around this that it will change your brain, it will change your cells, it will even change your genes, your DNA, which when done, looking at neuroplasticity levels. Now, when we look through the positive affirmations in individuals and how this works, it's the feeling it. If you don't feel the words that you're saying, don't use the words that I'm using. If you don't feel good when you say them or when you hear them or when you're using them, come up with your own. If you need help with that, I'm happy to help as well. But here are just a few that really activate me in the morning that I've already really embodied and actually have switched out and added to over time. So the first one is I create healthy boundaries and honor them. It's not a coincidence that I'm not a control freak, but you're doing this wrong shirt today. I am a recovering people pleaser. I am a recovering type A personality. I am a recovering controller. Hence the word recovering, because sometimes it still challenges me, right? So here are some affirmations again. The first one is I create healthy boundaries and honor them. I observe and give myself space to respond. I observe and give myself space to respond. I am connected with my highest self. That is alignment. We are always connected to our highest self when we are in alignment. Are we always in alignment? No. It's hard and almost impossible to be in alignment 100% of the time. It's just the truth. It is the truth. Because we have other things we are responding to. We have other perceptions that we are projecting out into this world. But when we become master decision makers, and when we connect and know how to tap into being in alignment, it can happen like this. It doesn't have to take 15, 20 minutes or an hour to get into an aligned state. So I'm connected with my highest self. That's being in alignment. I'm confident and clear. I am supported. I attract and receive with ease. I trust my intuition. I am enough. I love myself. And when I say I love myself, if you have children, love yourself as deep and as much as you would love your own offspring. That's a whole nother level. I attract and, I already said that. I attract and receive with ease. I trust my intuition. I am enough and I love myself. I am surrounded by opportunity. Challenges are opportunity, but every opportunity doesn't have to come with a challenge, being the beginning of it. But the bigger opportunities I've recognized in life have had some challenges, because that means I'm growing, and boom, it is bigger than my wildest dreams. And challenge doesn't have to mean hard. It's just different. And it's just causing us to flex and change the way we look and react and receive something, especially when it comes to experiences. So I'm surrounded by opportunity. Surrounded by opportunity. What does that feel like to you? It feels epic and amazing to me. So all I need is within me right now, and every day in every way, I am getting stronger and stronger. And actually, I like to remove the word getting, because that's been programmed. As you can see, I naturally just said it that way, but removing that word, you're not getting anywhere. You just are, or you aren't. Right? You are or you aren't. So every day in every way, I am stronger and stronger. Every day in every way, I am stronger and stronger. And that's been with me for over 20 plus years. That's probably one of the first affirmations I used from Tony Robbins. Was the first person I heard it from. I believe he borrowed it from a lady. I don't know her name at the top of my head right now, so I apologize for that. And if it's meant to be, it is up to me. If it is meant to me to be, it is up to me. So those are just 13 affirmations I just said right now. Take them, use them as you wish, write them down, record them in your own voice, save this podcast that's going to be released here in the next hour, and you can use it again and again. And remember, when you're challenged or stuck, go back to gratitude. It's the same frequency as abundance. And when we're in challenging situations, it's harder until you practice it. It can be easier to get back into the aligned state. Now, when you're coming into the space of gratitude, it will get easier and easier. And you'll notice the difference almost immediately when you practice it. This is why morning practices, our morning routines, are habitual and can be something that you change, but have the same formulas and tools that you play and evolve with as you grow as an individual, as you up level, as you go deeper in this work. When I first started out, it was journaling gratitude, it was going for walks or runs, and it was reading for 20 minutes. Now I go deeper again into the activation and embodiment because I include some breath work. I include some visualization and what I'm expecting and how I anticipate my day to go, setting that intention with clear expectations. And I'm super clear and confident in what I know is going to happen in my day. Now, I can't control other people. I am very aware of that. But I get to choose how I respond to those other people, right? So if I'm clear with what I want to receive and releasing the how, that's something I'm still practicing with on a continuous basis. Because again, how you do anything is how you do everything. And when we line ourselves up for desires and what we want to experience while releasing that how, because that how is not our responsibility. And again, going back through this and not just calibrating every year on the 31st of December, really going in and doing this on a weekly and monthly and quarterly basis. And if it seems overwhelming, do it quarterly. And then it'll become monthly. And then you'll see and feel different. And you'll say, I'm doing this weekly. I'd much rather pivot at the end of every month or the end of every week or in the middle of the week when something doesn't feel good anymore and declare new than waiting a whole year, if that makes sense. So I'm going to leave you with that for today. Just wanted to be a quick myth busting, fact finding when it comes to morning routines. It's super simple. Don't overcomplicate it, but allow it to become a routine and make it a priority. It's the best investment you can put into your results and what you want to manifest or experience in life, because we're manifesting all day, every day, just by breathing, living, doing, experiencing, and interacting. There's a lot of science, again, around the subconscious mind and how it's programmed, which includes your thoughts and your beliefs, which ultimately affect our results and what you're receiving and experiencing. And so when you take that to where you want to be, go, do, and experience next week, next month, next quarter, next year, this will be a pivotal piece if you do anything at all. So this is the morning routine myth busting video. You can go back if you missed the beginning of this. And I also have a PM routine when you reflect and receive, which was the podcast before this. And then, of course, when you're challenged or stuck, what are some things you can do? So that's the podcast. The last 3 podcasts, I would go back and to listen, Courageous and Free with Jacqueline Mack, and save those. And you can listen to them every week, every day, every morning, what works best for you. And any feedback that you have, bring it over. If you need some help because of some other things, send it my way. I'm happy to support you. And I send you so much love on this last day of 2022 into 2023. And I am looking forward to the momentum that I'm already bringing in, while also taking some time to recharge and relax with loved ones. And I hope you are too. So until next time, start before you're ready. There's no better time than now. And I'm sending you with so much love. Bye for now.